Hello, Advocate here, about to show you Disc 37 of the official UK PlayStation magazine. Now I'm sure some of you are thinking, wait, Disc 37? Wasn't your last disc number 18? And yes, it was. But this is the actual disc that came straight afterwards. Even the spine on the disc cover implies that this disc was originally going to be Disc 19 of Volume 2. But it seems that the magazine decided that the disc number should match the issue numbers to avoid confusion, like they were doing before Volume 2. This disc was released October 1998, alongside issue 37 of the magazine, hence why the disc number is now 37. Are you still confused? Yeah, me too. Try not to let it bother you. Let's just play some demos.
Three, two, one.
Well, what's going on here? Another demo of Circuit Breakers when the previous disc already had a demo of it? Let me explain. This is no ordinary demo. This is actually an add-on disc for the game. If you load up the full game of Circuit Breakers, you can find an add-on disc option in the pause menu. If you select it, then swap the disc for this demo disc, you'll have access to 8 brand new tracks. Isn't that wild? You could say that makes this DLC before DLC was a thing. You know, technically you can use Disc 18's demo as an add-on disc too, giving you full access to the 2 exclusive tracks in that demo. Anyway, if you load Disc 37's Circuit Breakers demo by itself, you get to play on one of the 8 tracks included. For those of you who enjoy Metroidvania games, such as the PlayStation Castlevania game, this next demo's for you. Tombi, or Tomba. It's about the eponymous pink-haired lad as he attempts to recover his grandfather's bracelet from an evil race of anthropomorphic pigs. Created by an ex-Capcom employee, so you might get a hint of Capcom in this game, Tombi relies on non-linear events to advance the player's progress. When Tombi interacts with a certain character or environmental element, an event may be initiated, in which case Tombi is given a task to accomplish, such as overcoming an obstacle of some kind. Upon completing the event, Tombi is given adventure points, which can be used to access more events and unlock specific chests. This game is considered a cult classic, receiving positive reviews on release, being praised for its variety and non-linearity in how the events work. Now on to a side-scrolling spaceship shoot-em-up, with G-Darius by Taito. I hope you like the idea of shooting flying battle tanks that look like killer fish. Something interesting you can do in this game is capture an enemy ship, which will then aid your ship with extra weapons or an extra shield, depending on what you captured. Then, when the action gets too hot, you can detonate the captured ship like a bomb, destroying anything that gets too close. This game has branching paths in its stages, meaning there are multiple endings, making this game quite replayable. The demo gives you one zone to conquer. Next is the demo for Ninja. And I hate to disappoint you again, but I could not get any footage for this one, just like with 3 Lions on disc 16. The demo will get stuck on this loading screen, even if I left it for hours. Most likely more compatibility issues with the PS3, which is what I use to record footage. When I looked it up though, it seems that Ninja is a rather mediocre game with bad graphics and controls, and it doesn't seem to have a story, so I don't think I'm missing out on much. Sorry. Let's move on.
VividNet uploading.
One of the many Mario Kart clones we're going to see for the PlayStation, this is the demo for S.C.A.R.S. Racing in a computer simulation and vehicles inspired by animals, this game supports up to 4 players with the multi-tap. The graphics are colourful and quite pleasing, the gameplay is engaging and challenging, and the concept is interesting. Reviews of the game were fairly positive, although apparently the Nintendo 64 version was received slightly better than the PS version. If you were looking for a cartoonish kart racer for the PlayStation, you could do worse than S.C.A.R.S. Here's Test Drive 5, the sequel to Test Drive 4, which I covered on Disc 8. Test Drive 5 is more of the same, which is one reason why I got mixed reviews. You drive down a long, windy road, which occasionally splits, and you got to do it fast because if you run out of time, then it's game over. And it is really easy to hit other cars on the road, which will slow you right down. This series was trying to compete with Need for Speed. You can probably guess which one was winning. The demo gives you 2 cars on the Moscow track. Continuing on with another football game demo, this time it's World League Soccer 98. Is anybody keeping track of how many football games there are at the PlayStation? This one received high praise with its detailed control system, and I must admit I like the animations of the players as they enter the pitch, as well as them cheering when they score a goal. I like little touches like that. The demo lets you play as Brazil versus Scotland. So there's not just one, but two net Yaroze games on this disc. Let's start with Psychon. Psychon is a top-down shoot-'em-up where you go into what looks like a space station and shoot up the place. Seriously, nobody fights back. Everyone runs away. Sure, if you touch someone, you lose health, but honestly, it seems to me like you're a disgruntled employee or something, going in and shooting your co-workers. If it wasn't for that disturbing thought, this game might be kinda cool, since you run around a maze-like level, including secret walls and special power-ups to find. Then there's Pushy II, or Pushy II-B as it claims. It's one of those puzzle games where you have to push all the blocks on the specific tiles. It does the job and it gets challenging quickly. Not sure what to think of those sound effects though. There are 3 video previews on this disc. The first is for Everybody's Golf, or Hot Shots Golf in North America. And we also have a Spyro the Dragon preview. and finally a behind the scenes making of video for MediEvil. And that's everything for disc 37. Not a bad selection if you ask me. Although we're back to using a background we've seen before, but that's going to change starting from the very next demo disc. On the next disc, I play with dominoes, help out our friend Abe again, and get a chance to play MediEvil. Thanks for watching.